Alright, it's another week, and this week I need this heat wave to fuck off. I struggled my way through some very high temps this week, a lot of mid 90s and stuff like that. Not something I'm built for. So, it went up to a high in the high 80s today, and I'm hoping everything will be a lot nicer from here on out for the rest of the summer. I'm crossing my fingers. But right now, it's the end of the anime season, so I'm going to talk about that a lot this week. So, first off, I'm going to be talking about the sort of most mixed bag show, because I love pretty much everything I'm watching this season. So, out of the ones I've finished, I'm going with Kenpeki Seijo to start. So, Kenpeki Seijo is about a girl named Philia being her kingdom's saint and basically guardian of the kingdom, and the prince's fiance. But because he has an ego and his dad is sick, he goes out and is like, I'm gonna get rid of her so I can marry her cute sister instead. It's weird as shit. And it has this strange arc because it has this A and B plot that come together, with the A plot being Philia in this new kingdom sort of having this chance to be more human than she really was. Sort of getting to have more personal interests as opposed to just only acting for others. And the B plot is Mia, her little sister, in the home kingdom, planning revenge against the prince for having sold her sister off. And the part that gets weird is it establishes this sort of regular pattern early on where I guess I would say that Philly is having a good old time in this new kingdom, and the prince who met her there is like, yo, I'm really sorry. I know this is weird that we just like got this trade of the draft or whatever, but like we really need your help. And also, you should chill out and just have a good time. So it comes across as this really weird thing where she's kind of having this like slow life in the new kingdom, and it seems like it's going in that sort of format. And then once Mia learns about the whole selling off of Philia, they get back in touch, and Philia keeps trying to send Mia whatever aid she can, because their home kingdom is falling apart from monster raids now that Philia is not controlling everything. So all that happens, and there's this fun progression of events, but the thing is, we go from this incompetent light novel villain of the crown prince of the home kingdom. His whole deal is that he's basically been overshadowed by Philia his whole life, and he feels really bummed out about it. So he's just awful because of that, I guess. But then they start piling on this demon archduke and some faction of exorcists, and one of them is also a demon. I don't really know, but I never really cared about them, because it's like, what are we even doing here? To me, the monsters should have just been there to put the home kingdom under threat and raise the political tension and set up for the stupid, incompetent prince's downfall. But they went way too far past that for kind of overstepping the whole thing of this like healing A plot and revenge B plot. And then it just kind of becomes this like weird, oh, Philia, you are the child of destiny, you're the reincarnation of the great saintess, and that's why the archduke of the demons wants you so bad. And it's like, I just don't care about that. The whole point of this series was about their personal circumstances, and then they completely eschewed it for the main ending of this anime. So I like the first, I don't know, 8 or so episodes a bunch, but I think after that point I really I don't know what we're here for, dog. So I read some of the manga before watching this, and I think that I'm not interested in following up on the light novel after watching this anime. But to close out on that, the best reward for watching it was definitely just everyone fawning over Philia in different ways. I thought that was really cute. And Mia's whole deal was super charming. I really like being so betrayed that you will like, completely change your values. I really like that sort of thing. But I don't think there was enough of it. And especially in that last, like, third of the anime, it felt like a waste of time. Next up, I do want to say, Ninja and Assassin had a really good production. It was one of the first Shaft anime I got hooked on in a while. And I'm going to be honest, they just did great on Ninkoro. So, I feel like for this and the other ones I'm more positive on, I'll keep it a lot shorter than I was about Konpeki Seijo. So, the characters' relationships develop over time in a way that I really liked. So, it goes from them being, like, just kind of partners of convenience at the start to, like, both of the main leads having a lot of, like, enrichment of their daily lives through each other and then through the supporting cast. And there is, like, an NTR episode in the middle, but it's part of the vision, and I should have believed in 100 Burger. By the way, the author's name is 100 Burger. But it goes from having this, like, very fun and goofy dynamic at the start to being, like, fun, goofy, and, like, very earnest and comfortable. It's like, they really sold me on the relationship progression of the characters there, which I really like. Next up, we'll go to a more mixed one, and then my anime of the season. So That's Journey was probably the sleeper hit of the season to me, where I don't think I have seen another soul talk about it in the last 5 or so weeks. I see people talk about, like, all the other anime I've watched, but not That's Journey. Okay, I haven't seen people talk about Konpeki Seijo, I'm gonna be honest, but That Journey was another TV anime that I thought would kind of pick up more, but I think it just got overshadowed this season. It's a really cute show in terms of, like, how the characters interact and how the themes and vibes kind of go together. But I think the big problem was that the production was just, like, kind of okay. It wasn't particularly good. It wasn't particularly bad. It was just, like, I liked it. It didn't put me off the work, and that's all it needed. But it also didn't, like, sell me on it just through the way it looked or anything. I think that the main girlie finding a hobby she really enjoys and that energizing both her social life and sort of her creative activities is really interesting to me. I don't really know, like, I don't really know if anything else really did that better this season. But, like, I could see, like, the clear through line, like, oh, Mono did something similar. Oh, Food for the Soul did something similar. And I think that's why nobody is talking about That's Journey. Also, his name is really fun. I think it is the best anime title of the season. I'll say that. But I'm hoping That's Journey, if you're ever born again, be born as a winter anime instead. It's not a spring show. It's not a summer show. It is a winter show. And I don't know if there's, like, a single moment where I was like, wow, this is, like, such spring and summery vibes. Just something about it just felt like a winter show. But I hope more good anime gets made. But dang, it's rough when there's so many good anime in one season. I think I was watching, like, 8 shows this season. And so the one that, like, I tentatively think is my favorite is Apocalypse Hotel. It came on my radar after the anime season started, when people started telling me it's giving Yokohama shopping trip after episode 1. So I basically locked the fuck in and became a Yachio devotee from that moment on, because the second you compare something to Yokohama Kadashi Kiko, that is an instant sell for me, boss. So the show develops in a way where the character relationships and Yashio's own character development really had me hooked constantly. I think that's one really big thing that happened a lot this season, where it's like the characters feel kind of just, like, very roughly placed together at the start, But then, like, these productions are doing really good at making them mesh by the end of the season in, like, ways that are just extremely meant to make me absolutely fall in love with those characters. So, in that way, I think it appeals to me in the same way as, like, that's Journey or Ninkoro, where the characters really come together over time. But I think it's also, like, I don't know if I can say it's goofier than Ninkoro, but, like, it is a very over-the-top series where it mixes its more poignant moments with very, like, I don't know, boisterous moments as well. And I think the sort of overall production was very good. It looks gorgeous pretty much all the time. And I just think that it came together really perfectly. And even right now, it's like, compared to the other shows I've been watching this season, it is the one that I'm probably the most emotional about. Like, there is one episode in particular I'm thinking of right now where, like, if I think about it too hard, I will cry right now. And I think that, for me, it's a sign of how Apocalypse Hotel committed to the different things that happen throughout its runtime. For me to be able to think, like, oh, it was like a very lighthearted show, but it was also, like, very earnest and just came across really well. I think the big thing is that once you sell me on the characters and the setting, and it doesn't just feel like everything's in, like, a state of perpetual nonsense, that's a big plus for me, and Apocalypse Hotel does this perfectly. I think that a lot of anime in particular, anime, manga, light novels, I think that they often don't have a good sense of time. Where if the only sense of the passage of time is through, like, oh, this story follows them from their time as a first year, and then a second year, and then a third year. That's not real. Shut up. But Apocalypse Hotel does a lot better at selling it just through the actual change in the setting and the character dynamics and everything else. So I understand completely why people compared it to Yokohama Shopping Trip, and it really makes me think I should really read the entire manga instead of just having watched the OVAs. It's one of those things where I gotta commit to the bit. But I think they made a really good anime. Saigen's Pictures did pop off. I'm pretty sure they're the ones who made it. I'm not gonna double check. And then I will just say, Kenpeki Seija really was just a sacrificial anime this season, where I was excited enough for the character dynamics between the main two there, but just the way it fell off so hard with stuff that I don't remember from the manga, really caught me off guard, and I was not expecting it going into it. So I feel like that made it hit harder. Where I was expecting, like, oh, this is going to be a neat little story. They could wrap it up in one season, and then everything will have a lot of room to breathe, and it'll be great. I do not remember this whole Exorcist and Archdemon, whatever the hell, plot at all. So, even though I liked a lot of it, that just, like, caught me so off guard and made me fall off it really hard. And I'm going to be honest, when I was planning for this video earlier, I honestly could not remember anything I did during the week for a bit. It was a case of, like, the heat wave had pretty much just, like, absolutely broken my memory of, like, ability to remember things even. Because, like, I had to actually look at a friend's letterbox and be, like, cross-referencing, hey, what did I do this week? So, last Sunday, I watched Dragon Slayer 1981 and Child's Play 3. And Dragon Slayer was super sick. The dragons were cool, the wizards were cool. Everything was just, like, a good, like, schlocky fantasy film. I love that shit. And Child's Play 3, I think I lost out on something because, like, I'm not really that attached to Chucky. I have seen bits of 1 and 2 because, like, my older brother would always throw horror movies on. So it's like, I got naturally exposed to it, but I never actually, like, watched it in full in a sitting or anything like that. So I feel like I might have liked this more if I had seen them first, but I will not stop thinking about the grenade scene. But the last one I did watch was on Tuesday, and that was Until Dawn 2025. The big thing with this was that it was a very dumb movie, but I think I had a lot of fun watching it, but I also can't say it was good, because it's like obviously it's in the realm of like it's so bad it's good. I don't think it was like thematically coherent. I just thought it had a lot of funny ideas and it put them together in a way where I was like hooting and hollering at the screen, but I wasn't necessarily like getting much from it. Other than that. So all I'm saying is they gotta invent the water from Until Dawn 2025, because that shit was so cool. And one dumb thing is that for my cooking this week, I decided to make Japanese curry for the first time in 5 years. And I don't know how I got to a point where I just didn't make it for 5 years, because it's cheap, it's easy, and it's delicious. And like that hasn't changed in the last 5 years. So I'm like, why didn't I just get some? And I don't know. But it's like one of those things where I live in an area where it's not really readily available. But you would think like I would have thought to order it online sooner, like I did this time. But I got it. And it was good. So I think my brain just has to be studied by future generations. Just like putting off an easy win for 5 years is kind of dumb. And that's pretty much all I could think of right now. So I'm hoping the temperature drops more. As of right now, I'm looking it up. Looks like we have a high of 81 tomorrow, 79 on Tuesday, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit under 80 all week. I'm hoping that holds true and that it doesn't go up at all. or if it's wrong, it just goes down. It looks like it's going to be in the low 60s overnight, which is extremely up my alley. So it's going to be like 15 to 20 degrees lower than last week a lot of the time, and I really appreciate that. So I hope we all have a good week. I'm excited for the 3-day weekend coming up, and I hope you all have a good one. Bye-bye.